Welcome everyone to the iiConCast. I am the irresistible Dave. Across from the table from me is the idiot. Well, I guess the stupid idiot Matt. Rumor mill. Rumors that have been going around for the past week. We got a ton to talk about, and maybe I slipped a little something in there to make my little heart happy. So
I don't want to know what makes your heart happy.
So let's go straight to the big one. Brock Lesnar. It seems like he only has a little bit of time left on his contract, which is fact. But it seems like it might be. Where is he lying? Is it UFC? Is where he's going to go back to? Or is he just trying to get that extra little bit of money out of WWE?
And it's funny because it would almost benefit WWE if they were able to get Lesnar out before Mania. You send Lesnar out, then all of a sudden Reigns doesn't have someone to verse, and then Reigns goes, well, who am I supposed to verse? Cena comes out after not winning at Fastlane and goes, WrestleMania, baby! And then he gets his WrestleMania moment. Reigns gets to go up against Cena at WrestleMania. It's really garbage. But they battle for a vacant title.
So we see that a lot in UFC. If someone gets injured, they put up an intern title. Is that kind of what we go for here? Going, hey, he kind of left. We're just going to... Roman Reigns has it. Do you put it in a quick tournament? Do you just decide it in a battle royal? How do you decide John Cena versus Roman? Well, we're not saying this is going to happen. That'd be great if it's a great what if. But... how do you do that?
Well, I mean, you look at the fact that Cena was able to call in a favor. Maybe Cena has something on Triple H or Kurt Angle or Steph or Kurt Angle and goes like, hey, so you don't want this to get out. Like, we see that not fully heel. We see that side of Cena where he says he's gonna do something wrestling unethical. And you know what? Holding your boss up for ransom just to get a title match? We've never really seen that.
No, we haven't. But, so, there you go with that part. But where's Lesnar going to be after WrestleMania?
I don't think he's coming back, to be honest.
I don't really think so either. I think UFC is where he wants to be.
Well, the worst part is if he goes back to UFC in April, he's on the shelf. He can't fight. He's not allowed. He was given a 1-year suspension after the drug scandal. He can't even fight until a couple months later.
So what we saw last week on Raw, he didn't show up. Is that a work? Is it them going, hey, he actually didn't show up? Roman Reigns spitting from the hip or spitting from the mouth, saying, "Hey, he cares more about UFC." Where does this fall into?
Everything I've read and heard is that it was a really good work shoot, and that they said, you know what, go home, and then they built around that. But I mean, why? And now there's all these extra rumors of possibly him not coming to WrestleMania. There's too much still up in the air with him. I'm actually kind of just hoping that this was just a work and they go, you know what? Nope, Lesnar, stay home, collect your paycheck.
Well, you brought up someone very important to the next part, John Cena. I think all of us have been clamoring for John Cena for Undertaker versus Undertaker. I think it's been several years overdue. What we saw that Undertaker, hey, you're not getting the Undertaker. Who does he get?
Well, and that's the thing is, we talked about it on our weekly wrap up this week. If he doesn't get Taker, then the next logical choice is to go to WrestleMania via the SmackDown title. But nobody wants to see Nakamura versus Cena. They want AJ versus Nakamura. So unless he gets put in a triple threat situation or steals the title, which would suck, that's not really foreseeable either. but I hear that there's been a rumor about who he might face.
Mr. Number 30 in the Royal Rumble this year, Rey Mysterio Jr. I don't know how that match would definitely play out. You know, they had a hell of a match. If you go back in the annals of time, Rey Mysterio won the world title when CM Punk decided he was going to take it on a nice little tour of the Indies. He won the match. He won a title match. And then Cena comes in and they have a great match, and Cena wins that match. 5 years ago, they could have a great match. Can they still now?
I mean, I think they could have a great match in the sense that it would be an entertaining match to watch. Mysterio's in the best shape of his life. People want Mysterio, obviously, by the pop he got at Royal Rumble. Cena can still do something with the crowd. You would have your definite face and your definite quote-unquote heel, the guy to boo, the guy to cheer. It works on all of those factors. It's just why? Why does Rey fight Cena? Like, there's not a storyline reason other than the week before WrestleMania, Cena finally goes, I still need a match for WrestleMania. Once in a lifetime, me and Rey.
Yeah, I don't see there being a great build up to that either. But even if Rey Mysterio comes back, where are you going to put him? Are you going to put him on 205 to help those guys? Are you going to put him on the main roster just to have him there? You know, I can see Mysterio coming back, a little bit lighter work schedule. Just where does he fit in?
I would personally put him on 205. I mean, it's just, right now, the problem with 205 Live, the reason it's not drawing as well as it should be, is name a big name on 205 Live. Not one that you like, a big name.
I would say probably you're looking at either TJP or Alexander as the big name on there.
And right now, as we speak, neither of them are draw power. They're just names. These are the matches you're sticking around for after SmackDown.
Yeah. So another small name. Last week we saw Gargano give his notice to NXT. Is it Hello 205?
We've been talking about this, and I think as much as he could help the faction, league, whatever you want to call 205 Live, the brand, I think that it would break my heart, because he's obviously got the equivalency of Daniel Bryan, where he is over because he is talented and he is likable. Those were the only reasons that Daniel Bryan was ever over. You know what? They have accidentally made Daniel Bryan 2.0, and this is their opportunity to turn it into fire. Now, if they turn it into fire for 205 Live, okay, you'll draw some of the NXT fans over. You might draw me over. I might actually watch a couple episodes. You put it on the mainstream, into the Raw or SmackDown, that's a great mid-card champ and a viable title champ.
I don't think he's jumping in right into the main card.
Oh.
I think you're going to see him go to 205. I think you'll see him dabble in there for a year or a bit. And then I think when they do the 2019 draft day, I think maybe that's when he gets picked up. You think about it, last year Enzo got picked up and put on there. That might be the time Gargano gets picked up and thrown on SmackDown. I think for what 205 needs right now, I think they need a Johnny Wrestling, someone who can carry the ball. If he gets put on there, you're going to have a hell of a match with Cedric Alexander, a hell of a match with TJP. You're going to have a hell of a match, and you'd be able to have this plucky underdog character still. 205 is under identity crisis right now, and the way they're starting to rebrand is through this tournament. Putting Johnny Gargano on there is going to take over the spot of quote-unquote Enzo, not as the loudmouth, but as your all-star...
You're not like faces and good guy, but
your franchise,
face.
your franchise player.
Yeah. Now, this is more on a personal note. How does it make you feel that if Gargano goes over, it's almost 100% guaranteed that Ciampa goes over.
So what if Ciampa goes? Huge Austin Aries fan. He dabbled there too. He didn't care for it. I'm a pretty good Cedric Alexander fan. Do I think he belongs on 205? No, but that's where he's needed, and I think finally he's getting the dues, credit he deserves. So, but another name that came up this past week, Neville, back in talks with WWE. Only a rumor, of course, but if he comes back, would be in April. Are they talking back to 205 Live? Are they talking, hey, maybe it's time to put you on Raw, maybe time to put you on SmackDown? You got the heat, you got the traction, let's get you going again.
Well, see, my first question here with Neville is, did he ever properly leave?
He has not left. He's still under WWE contract. Right now he's sitting out his contract.
And a big part of that was because of Enzo.
So, they say.
And so if Enzo's gone, there's nothing to hold him back, per se, besides himself. And it's just one of those things, like, honestly, Neville, you have Gargano, you maybe throw in Ray every once in a while, you throw Ciampa in there. You have a division. I know maybe other people don't want to see the man that gravity forgot outside of 205 Live, but that's what 205 Live needs. They need that name power, and Neville carried the entire division on his back when he was champ.
You adding Neville back, you don't have a division. You have a brand. I think you had Johnny Wrestling. You already got Roderick Strong on there. I think you're putting names on there that makes a brand. And it might be called 205 Live, but it might be NXT 2.0.
Yeah.
Your main guys, hey, we still have that feeling. And it'd be great, because that's what 205 really is. It doesn't have to always be the high-flying, jumping over the ropes. We get that from Seth Rollins and stuff like that. It just means a certain style. Now, do I think if you're going to look at people that are smaller that could fit on there, Adam Cole is another name you think that could fit on 205 Live. Do I think he just belongs there? No, I feel like he's a Shinsuke Nakamura. Bobby Roode needs to be on the main roster. But if you're building a brand, and the only issue with it is called 205 Live, and it's becoming very viable, maybe that's another place where NXT stars move up. Mm-hmm. Just that one rung. News came this week, going into SmackDown. Fox was at the show watching. Now there's rumors, come December 31st this year, WWE's rights are up for grabs. Fox might be dropping UFC and Brock Lesnar, if he goes there, for WWE television, where Monday nights Raw would air on Fox and SmackDown Live would air on FS1, Fox Sports 1, the next night. Is this a good move? Right now, they're on a channel, the USA Network, where they're both on equal par. We saw what it used to be like when it used to be Raw on USA, SmackDown on Sci-Fi. Ooh. It was never really a great spot for SmackDown to be showcased. It was always like the B show. Like, remember, after the draft, they always talked about SmackDown being the B show. I feel like on USA, they're on level grounds. Does it make sense for WWE to go to Fox? Or is it just as good to stay with the devil you know?
I think with this topic, you kind of find that Fox is absolutely the devil you don't know, but they also have a very, very, very long-standing rapport with the USA Network. It goes back before I was watching wrestling, and it's a question of, like, well, why don't you stick with that? Like, yes, if USA doesn't want to renew it, then of course you need to find a new home, and Fox is a great mainstream place, but what if Fox isn't okay with their Monday night primetime being taken up by wrestling? What if they're not okay with wrestling becoming a huge focal point for them? And also, I mean, with the WWE Network, is it really wise to go to Fox when Fox also is doing their own hosting?
We gotta think. If Fox is there, Fox wants them. I don't know if they realize that UFC is a little bit of a different beast than WWE, where UFC's on every couple weeks for prelims on a Friday, Saturday night, where WWE is on every Monday night. And yeah, you're gonna take up some spots you already have pre-programmed. You don't have to worry about looking at pilots for 4 hours. There's also talk that if WWE goes to Raw or goes to Fox, Raw's gonna be brought back down to 2 hours. So there's a lot of different aspects on this Fox one. Now, maybe when WWE's renegotiating, they're going to want Raw on their network the next day. That's something they can work into. Hey, you get first showing, but we want the rights to re-air right away. It does make its way to the network. It's a little bit slower. Maybe they can fix up that lead time on that. But I believe Fox is definitely a viable option. If they're going to the show and they want easy television, you don't have to brand it. You don't have to worry about ratings and how to get them. WWE's going to bring the ratings no matter where you go. And maybe that's what Fox is looking for now. Just that you think about how many shows go on and off Fox, how many stick, how many don't. Maybe they're just looking for those 2 hours on a Monday night to fill, and they'll have to worry about it.
It would be really interesting to see it hit Fox, because it'd be the first time that that wrestling has hit a truly one of the big four main networks. NBC.
Well, you think about it. Saturday night main event used to be on the main channels, but it was on Saturday night. You're right. Monday nights, at least on a big 3 network, be pretty big to watch. News came out of Australia this week that in Victoria they're looking to get more tourism. They want to fill 100. WWE and Victoria have agreed that they were going to try and fill $100,000 seat arena in October in Australia by pulling names like Undertaker, John Cena, Rey Mysterio, and putting it on pay-per-view. They just cut down all their pay-per-views. This would be a special extra for the network, which is great. I always love those extra ones. Can they do it? Should they do it? It's Australia. This isn't... If you're going to England, I feel like you can do it a little bit better. Heck, in the United States, you can pull from Canada and Mexico to do it. Can they do it in Australia?
I don't see a foreseeable future in the Australian market. And I'm sure there are fans in Australia, and I'm sure there's wrestlers in Australia. But it's just one of those things that right now, there's not a, hey, here's the big Australian wrestling revolution. Right now, the big wrestling revolution is the British one. So, do we care?
I don't think we care. I really don't. I think it's cool to have those extra... Maybe on the WWE network, because you think about Beast from the East back a couple years ago. I woke up to watch it. Something like that is a good idea, but I don't know if you're going to sell the arena out. I think that's where the hang-up is. Not that it's cool to have a special or a pay-per-view. It's, can you sell the arena out? This isn't WrestleMania. You're not promising that it's going to be the matches like WrestleMania in this big stadium. I don't know if you can pull it. We already have Ring of Honor trying to do a 10,000 stadium or 10,000 seat stadium. It's great for them. It's a great goal. I don't know if WWE in October is going to pull 100,000 people.
But recently, WWE's been seeing diminishing ticket sales in their house shows, their live shows, everything. There's empty seats. So the question is, does it matter?
Money is money. If they're taking a chance. And I think they tried this in Mexico. I don't know. I don't think the seating was this much, but they tried this in Mexico a couple years ago, and they brought all the big names. Maybe this works. I just think they bit off a lot more than they can chew. I think it's gonna be more full than empty on this arena, but I don't think it's going to be 100,000 seats filled. I really don't. Now, that's really it for this week. But like I said, I added a little bit of tidbit knowledge to make my heart happy. It was announced this past week, CM Punk and Wade Barrett have been signed for Netflix original series Beastmaster Season 3.
Yes.
It's like Ninja Warrior.
Have you been watching Beastmaster?
I have not.
Oh my
But
gosh.
my goodness, you throw CM Punk and Wade Barrett on there, I am telling you, I am excited. I'm going to get my CM Punk fix. I am craving it. I'm hoping it's not going to tie me over. But that is my little heart news for the week. CM Punk and Wade Barrett, Beastmasters. So, once again, this has been the Icon Podcast. Matt, take it away.
I've been Matt.
I am still Dave.
Legends come and go, but icons never die.